So what we do with the electromagnetic spectrum is we have something that looks like the magnetic spectrum. I have one here. Often they're colorful, but on this black and white paper, we can't really color them, but sometimes they look like this. You can Google it and you'll see some really pretty ones out there. This electromagnetic spectrum we're going to write on and fill it out. Okay, so the electromagnetic spectrum is a diagram that shows all the various types of electromagnetic waves, which I abbreviated EM because I'm lazy and I don't want to write that out. There's really kind of two ways you can look at the organization. It's either by wavelength or frequency, but it's really by both because you can't really do one without the other because that's kind of how waves work. But it's important to remember they all have the same wave speed regardless of where you are on the wavelength spectrum or the frequency spectrum. They all have the same wave speed. Okay. And so we're going to fill this out and it's going to be kind of weird. So this is what the whole thing looks like. There we go. And I'm going to start down here at the bottom where I've got my squiggly line, and you'll see down here it starts on the left. It's kind of really spread out, and then it gets all scrunched together at the other end. So that's the wavelength. Spread out means it's a long wavelength, and squished together means it's a short wavelength. So that's the way we can organize it there. And if this thing were moving, the frequency of the waves where it's got a long wavelength, there wouldn't be very many passing you, so that would be a low frequency. But where they're all squished together, there would be more passing you, so that would be a high frequency. So that's how we're organizing it, by both wavelength and frequency at the same time. You'll notice that the arrow is pointing in the direction that the frequency is increasing, and it's pointing also in the direction, which is opposite, in the direction that the wavelength is increasing.